I'm Katharina Gerber, and I'm supporting battery companies at Siemens Digital Industries Software Group. In my job, I help companies to identify solutions that can help them to really move the needle from lab scale to full commercial scale on their journey to commercialization of their products. And in my role, really, I cover all different areas of battery industry. So I work with battery materials companies, I work with battery cell developers, cell manufacturers, all the way to companies developing ESS systems. So it's really exciting to see this whole kind of picture of battery value chain, and to be able to work with different technologies and also with companies of different sizes. Of course, in America, primarily we work with a lot of startup companies, but there are also some mature customers, and it's really exciting to see different stages of battery industry. So, and in addition to my role at Siemens, I'm also actively engaged with NAATBatt International. So I am serving as VP of NAATBatt International, and I also participate in a board as a board member. And also for the last 3 years, I have been co-chairing Electrode Materials Committee. I'm always busy, and so in my day job at Siemens, I'm helping battery companies to navigate the commercialization of their products journey. So, we are providing a lot of amazing tools that can help to accelerate time to market, to de-risk some of the investments the companies make into very capital intensive equipment. Beyond that, I'm collaborating with academia and national labs, and that's something that is will be public soon. But basically, we are brainstorming on ideas how to streamline commercialization of new battery materials. How do we really, like, in the United States has incredible amount of talent in chemistry. We develop and patent so many new discoveries in the material science, but we kind of fall short when it comes to bringing those new materials into the market. If you think about LFP technology, which everybody knows was invented in the United States, and now suddenly, other country dominates the production of LFP. So I'm being active part of that. And I'm excited. I was even invited to give some lectures at university next year on that subject. So that's really exciting for me personally to go kind of back to academia a little bit more. And then, of course, I'm very active at NAATBatt International through my roles as VP and also board member and co-chair of Electrode Materials Committee. Currently, my committee is actually preparing a very, I think, interesting and needed session on what is going on in battery supply chains. We have a lot of great speakers lined up. So our next meeting will be on September 24th. So if this recording comes before that, so please join. We have great speakers like Ken Hoffman, who knows everything about battery raw material supply chains, and some other great people. Through my entire career, I'm mostly proud of the relationships and friendships that I was able to establish with people from different areas of industry. I still have very good relationships with academia. I know a lot of companies, and myself, I have been before Siemens part of startup companies, worked on lithium extraction technologies, which is very upstream there, was working on dry electrode technologies, which is kind of midstream. So, and I was able to keep in touch with all those people. And actually, in my current job and position, it helps me because I can see the whole picture of the issues and challenges some companies navigate, and also I can help them better because I know people from midstream, downstream, upstream, and connecting the dots and sometimes making introductions can really move the needle for someone. I think my guiding values: be humble, be helpful, be curious. When I work with companies or somebody approaches me, I always try to kind of put myself in their shoes and see, well, what Katharina would have done or what type of help Katharina would want to receive. And coming from this perspective, I think is the right way to do things, because it's gives you, helps you to establish a trustful relationship as an advisor. The trend that people should be paying attention to, I think it's in a, maybe I'm biased, but I think digital solutions and also AI should definitely be on people's minds. And of course, we hear a lot of buzzwords about AI, but what excites me about AI is not how it's used for things like editing documents or creating content. But I think the real opportunities lie in the industrial grade AI, where it's not just, you ask AI to do something across the board, but it's really in a context of what you're trying to achieve. Like, for example, in engineering, the typical chatbot cannot give you a design of battery. You really need to have industrial grade AI. And this is what we are currently working on at Siemens. I think that is really exciting. And given the competition from China for a lot of American battery companies, I think in the long run it could give them the advantage and competitive edge. So that's one area that excites me. Another one that excites me is I see a lot of very, very bright innovators with amazing ideas, and what kind of what they all kind of have in common, they all come from the perspective of environmental impacts of new technologies. And I think this is very unique to United States and perhaps also Europe, that we don't see this really focus on, how to save energy, how to save carbon emissions, how to replace some of the toxic components with better solutions. I think that's really exciting, that we still, we want to be produce better batteries and make it more cheaper or more cost competitive, but at the same time we also don't want to damage our environment. We think about that as well. So for me, it was great to be connected to NAATBatt, and it's actually an interesting story how we got connected first. So during pandemic, I was actually working in Germany for a German startup company. And I was very active in, all this movement and direct lithium extractions and how to make it more environmentally friendly, and how European Union supported that with introduction of battery passport and, incentives to make local green batteries. And so one of my friends on LinkedIn, after reading my posts, said, well, you need to talk to Jim Greenberger because he's trying to learn what Europe is doing right and what United States is lacking. So that was my first meeting with Jim. It was during pandemic and was online, and we talked about parallels between how European policies help to push the battery industry forward and what America can learn from that. And then 2 years later, well, not 2 years, a year later, I moved back to United States, and I was working for a different startup. And this is where my startup became part of NAATBatt, because I really felt this organization helps to connect people. It's very democratic in a way. There is, you see executives, you see engineers all sitting pretty much at the same table and being able to talk about different challenges and establish partnerships. So it's just a great ecosystem that helps you to meet people, to find new ideas, to establish partnerships that maybe help your business. So it's been great. I would say they should have done it already, but so I always say, if you are looking for a place to really connect to the industry and see who is doing what, and if you want to be seen as well, that's the place to be, because everybody gets opportunity to introduce themselves to the battery community. Everybody is very friendly. That's, you can learn, you can discuss, you can get advice. So, and also through our committees, we discuss very specific topics. And so if company, for example, is machine builder, there is a special committee for machine builders, which is even more specialized discussion room where you can, discuss your very, very specific challenges and forge partnerships. I think in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking about batteries. Even like on the weekends, I read different articles, and then they all about battery industry and battery innovations. However, I also need sometimes time to, to relax and kind of get new energies. So, and for that, I go to nature. I love hiking. I also, do yoga. I recently started taking piano classes, um, which kind of, I think, helps to relax. And it's just a different way of taking a break from everything, because when playing piano, you have to do simultaneously different things with left and right hand, and you just don't have time to think about battery while you're playing. So that's a good escape. Well, of course, as being a mom, I'm proud of my two sons and proud of being their mom. But again, I'm also proud personally that in my career, I got to meet so many amazing people who shaped who I am, who helped me to, get to the place where I am today, starting, with my academic advisor in Germany, who I still keep in touch with, to my colleagues at California Energy Commission that helped me to learn a little bit more about policies and how policies are being shaped by different regulations, and how those regulations affect, at the end of the day, how we generate energy and store it. So that was a learning. And then, of course, my current colleagues and all the people who I met at NAATBatt. I think it's curiosity. So going back to, the values that drive me, it's curiosity. And I think I like to take risk. Maybe it's less now, but when I was younger, I was, okay, that sounds like a great opportunity. It sounds like I don't know anything about it. Go and learn it. And, going through this kind of scary experiences, immigrating for a new job, or, starting something completely new. I'm chemist by background, and now I work with a lot of software developers, so it's completely 180% 180-degree turn for me. But I think every time when you push yourself to do something that you kind of curious about but kind of afraid, is usually has good outcome. And like my mantra is, usually we don't, like, at the end of the day, we don't regret things we have done in life. We usually regret things we haven't done. And so, and I think battery industry is actually a place where people try a lot of crazy and risky things all the time, and that's what makes it so exciting. Great questions. There are several challenges in the current environment that are being faced by battery companies. So I think number one, that kind of have dominated this year, is uncertainty, because there's a lot of political shifts and a lot of changes, and no one likes uncertainty. Obviously, it's very difficult to deal with it. And I think that NAATBatt really stepped up to kind of help people in this uncertain times by, making webinars with experts that kind of who weighed in and kind of explain what the implications of new big and beautiful bills is on the battery industry, and other things, and also like regularly meeting through the committee meetings or workshops that NAATBatt organizes. It just helps people to not feel lonely in this uncertain environment. And, they see everybody is kind of in the same boat, and there is still a silver lining in everything. We may not focus on one technology right now, but there is a lot of opportunities for other applications in the current market. So that's one of them. Of course, another one is finding resources to move forward for battery companies has been a big one, a big challenge this year. And also, in the NAATBatt, we have people who you can talk to, and we are currently trying to bring more life to our financing committee. That's something exciting, and will happen soon, where people can go and learn, how to maybe apply for some government funding, where else they need to go, what, maybe your proposal should look like, really. And I think that's really important. And in terms of, like, from my perspective of being part of Siemens, of course, I think the big challenge is that prototyping and experimenting resource intensive, and people coming out of academia with great ideas used to doing a lot of hands-on work, and that costs a lot of money. Doing physical prototyping, a lot of resources, a lot of time goes into that. But I see that's kind of shifting, that people realize, oh, okay, I don't need to build, 1,000 battery cells and damage all of them just to see, what thermal runaway looks like. I can actually simulate it. I need to do maybe, 10 experiments, and it saves a lot of time. So I think that's great to see that people realize there are advanced technologies that are available. Um, yeah, I see. I think this year was tough for battery industry, but I think we are kind of correcting our course of action, and we will be good. Well, so I think we still have reasons to be optimistic. I mean, first of all, batteries, you can find them pretty much in every area of our life. So that's a good thing, because that means they are not going anywhere. Second, I think there's a really very strong demand for stationary energy storage, and they need a lot of battery cells. And even if, maybe right now the electric vehicles kind of taking a back seat in terms of demand, but we see a lot of demand for other battery applications, military applications, energy storage applications, micromobility. So, I mean, if that doesn't make people excited, then I don't know. I think we still have a lot to do, and there's a good reason to be optimistic. Great question. If your company decided to become a member of NAATBatt, you just became a part of a big family. So I would recommend definitely try to attend the annual NAATBatt meeting, where you can meet a lot of people. I think last meeting gathered over 800 professionals from the battery industry, and you will be able to give a presentation about your company and yourself, and connect to really always over 300 member companies at NAATBatt, and have very casual, very low key discussions and network and establish connections. So that would be number one. Two, but also just as important, or just as beneficial, look at all different working committees that NAATBatt currently has. Join a few, or you can reach out to chairs of the committees and ask, what's all this is about. Which one do you recommend me to join? And that's another opportunity for your company to introduce yourself, to see what others are doing, what topics are being discussed. And of course, if you are particularly like in recycling area, or you developing zinc or sodium ion batteries, we have specialized workshops for that, where you meet all peers from these areas. And you can also just reach out to Jim. Jim Greenberger, he is our executive director, and he is a amazing individual, great personality. If you have any concerns, any questions about where to go, where to start at NAATBatt, I think Jim has always been available, and I don't even know how he does it with so many members, but yeah, joining NAATBatt is joining a family, real family here.
this is really incredible that you did this. You took the time to do this. So thank you for reaching out and doing this.
Of course, thank you for this opportunity.